Hi guys, in this episode of the Nostalgia Trip, I'm gonna be continuing with my reactions to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 1987 series. Currently, we are gonna be starting off the second season of the show, actually, with the first episode, Return of the Shredder. And yeah, season 1 is a very short season. And from what I know, it's one of the better seasons of this show, together with the Red Sky arc. So, from this episode onwards, we are going to be getting into the worst side of the 1987 series, or at least what I've been led to believe is the worst side of the 1987 series. We'll see for ourselves whether the quality is going to drop and how much it's going to drop. Who knows, maybe it's actually going to be more entertaining than it has been otherwise, because it's not like the show can do, like, action that well, because it's, like, show from the 80s, like, they can't really do that much and be in any way, shape, or form comparable to the 2003 series, let alone the 2012 series in fluidity. So they could potentially at least kind of excel at the comedy side of things, which I guess we're gonna see, but I don't think even in that it's gonna be that great, because I mean, again, it's the 80s. Comedy wasn't like that good back then, especially for like kids cartoons, and for a show like this it does seem like it's gonna be very much slapstick based. So yeah, I don't know, I don't think it's, at the very least, it's not gonna be anywhere as entertaining as the 2003 comedy, the 2012 comedy, or the Rise comedy, which I actually really like a lot. But yeah, it's kind of weird how this show has no consistency for the length of its seasons, because season 1 is like 5 episodes. Like, we're done with season 1 already. Season 2 is like only like 13 episodes. And then after that comes season 3 with like 46. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. So basically, I did season 1 in like a week. I'm gonna do season 2 in probably 2 weeks, more or less. And then I'm gonna be doing season 3 for like 2 months. Talk about fucking all over the place. But yeah, I'm hoping that I'm gonna enjoy this episode more than I did for the last 3 episodes. But before we get into the reaction, as usual, I do want to remind you that you can get a full-on version of these reactions over on my Patreon or Coffee account, where by subscribing at the specific tier I've created for it, you get access to all of my full-on reactions for cartoons. And alternatively, if you want to get access to all of my full-length reactions, which includes the live-action TV shows reactions and the movie full-length reactions, you gotta go at a higher tier, because those videos take more time and effort to produce, thus need to cost more money. But yeah, if you don't want to do that and you want to stick with the YouTube versions, that's completely fine. At the end of the day, most of my money that I earn from doing this are from my YouTube videos, not from the Patreon, but any support that you guys can give me is completely appreciated. So yeah, enough with the chit chat. Without further ado, let's get into episode 1 of season 2, Return of the Shredder, in 3, 2, 1.
Come on, Michelangelo. Think healthy for a change. You had peanut butter and jelly.
Hey, they're actually buying stuff from the store?
I had chocolate chips and caramel fudge.
Man, this version of TMNT is doing some stuff that I really like about it, that I wish honestly some of the other ones did. Because like, I like what 2003 and 2012 are, but I like that in this show the Turtles are like more of a public figure kind of thing, or like more like proper superheroes who go out and fight crime and stuff in front of people.
You think so?
What? When did you fucking become Superman, Mikey?
Back off, weirdo! Uh-oh, the boy's in blue!
You're a boy in blue, Leo.
Make way for Bebop and Rocksteady! And away we go!
What?
Why'd you do that?
Because I enjoy seeing both people and animals suffer. And you, my friends, are both.
There's a terrible emergency. What is it, Irma? I chipped one of my...
Irma?
And I'm all out of this color polish. Please, Irma, I've got a problem. You've got a problem? What if some hunky guy calls me for a date?
Well, April...
Oh, man.
Not on and film this.
I kind of was spoiled that she was gonna be in this because of that Jax Blades video. I really shouldn't have watched that video, honestly, even when it was originally released.
Those turtles are the greatest threat
I really like Irma's character for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's another human character that is not April or Casey. I guess it's for the same reason why I like Angel in the 2003 TMNT.
Those turtles. Michelangelo! Raphael! Master Splinter, what is it? I have had a terrible premonition. My lifelong enemy, Saki the Shredder, is about to return.
Shredder?
How do you know that?
Impossible. We saw him sucked into Dimension X.
Evil that strong cannot be so easily overcome.
I mean, to be honest, he hasn't really shown himself to be that evil. At the best, he's like a fucking thug.
This sure is a slow day. We ain't mugged anybody for
Because, like, what is the worst thing he's done so far? Just driving around with a technodrome underneath the city? And stealing shit?
See? What did I tell you?
Like, it hasn't been shown to be particularly
Like how much money you got in that
evil or menacing.
useless webs.
The master is responsible for the students.
What clown? Nobody talks like that to Smash, master of the Slash for Cash Dojo.
I am now master of this dojo, and you will obey my every command.
And why would he do that?
How's what, Tin Face? Like I was saying, Master, you're the boss.
Why are you afraid of that? That was not that impressive. It was kinda cool, but not that impressive for threatening.
If anybody asks, we're the Crooked Ninja Turtle Gang.
And I thought they were such nice boys.
It's so obvious that it's not them. Although I guess it's kind of a smart plan by 1987 TMNT standards.
The jewelry store. It's just been burglarized. It's the robbers. Make sure you get them.
Mr. Thompson will be thrilled. It was those awful Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Those weren't the turtles.
They were teenagers, they were ninjas, and they were green.
They were not teenagers. They were not turtles. And yeah, they were green, but they were so obviously fucking human, and the turtles are obviously not.
This is April. Come in, Leonardo.
Hi, April. It's Donatello. What's up?
Hurry
Can you
up.
guys stop saying your phone names? It's annoying.
Hold on. There's something familiar about that guy's technique.
Hey, you're right. I've seen it before someplace.
There are only two sensei who could have taught him that. Splinter or...
You don't mean...
Shredder.
I do.
You know, this is an example of a tell not show. I really wish they would actually have an actual, like, original looking technique that you yourself will be able to gauge. Oh yeah, this is the technique that Splinter and Shredder know, instead of them just telling it to us when it looks like a generic fucking martial arts move, you know? But again, it's a cartoon from the 80s, like, you can't really put too much pressure onto it. You can't really judge it by modern standards like that.
Okay, ninja punks, get up!
I see you've also learned Shredder's tactic of ninjas, attack.
Michelangelo, watch it! Don't forget to ride.
You guys have weapons, use them.
Guys, you can do better than that.
No hard feelings, right, guys?
No.
Right.
Man, I fucking love this Leo.
I'm gonna ask you once.
He's actually really fucking cool of a character.
Right there.
I don't know if it's because he reminds me of the 2003 Leo so much, but I really like him.
Hi, guys.
Like, his voice sounds very similar to the 2003. And his personality is kinda the one of the 2003. And I had forgotten how much I genuinely like the 2003's personality and character. And don't get me wrong, I love the 2012 Leo and the Rise Leo a lot, but 2003 Leo, I don't know, he's just perfect in my eyes. Man, you know what you know how I say that this show is both so slow and so fast? This is an example of this. He shows up all of a sudden, and in like 30 seconds he's defeated. What?
You have done well, my students.
Well, we're not done yet. Where's the
And I thought the 2003 Splinter was a damsel in distress.
Mutants, this is only the beginning.
Oh, that's our cue to exit.
Thanks.
Right on, babe. She was winking at me, you know. You're totally warped, dude. She was winking at me. Get real, you guys. It was meant for yours truly. I hate to argue, fellas, but I think she meant it for me. Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of weird for everybody except Donnie to be into April, because I feel like in the 2003, Donnie and April were like very close. Not a couple, but very close. And in the 2012, Donnie has straight up has a crush on April. And it's just kind of weird for the other ones to have that, because I feel like the other ones have kind of their love interests or whatever. Especially in the 2012 series, which actually, in that regard, is my favorite, like, for the relationship kind of thing, because I think the Turtles should actually have, like, a lasting relationship in the show, be it other Turtles or other mutants or whatever it may be. I think they should have relationships, because I feel like that adds more to their characters. It's pretty fucking cool. But you don't see that done that often. I also want somebody to explore the concept of the Turtles' future offspring. I don't even know how they would have it, or whether they can have it, and what it would constitute, because it would depend on who they would have as a significant other. But it's something that is cool, that could be explored. That's kind of why that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles short movie that I reacted to recently is so cool to me, because it feels like the next generation of TMNT kind of thing. Because you have one of the brothers of the four Turtles being the master of a next generation of ninjas. In that case, it's humans in turtle-looking mecha suits, which... cool, honestly. I genuinely think that could have been a really fucking cool cartoon. Like, I feel like it deserves at least a season to show, prove itself. Like I said when I was reacting to that, it really reminded me of Transformers, I think Animated, it was called, in its vibe and everything. And I don't know how popular that version of Transformers is, because it's a very radical departure from your typical Transformers lore. But I feel like TMNT could have done something like that in the same vein. I honestly would have taken that over Back to the Sewers, because the only good thing that Back to the Sewers gave us was an awesome theme song, and that was it. But yeah, I got a little bit sidetracked. Getting back to this episode, I honestly will say that maybe I enjoyed this episode more than the past three, because like I said, I'm not as tired today as I was yesterday, and I'm not planning on reacting to more than this episode today, so I don't feel the pressure of having to breeze through the episodes, so I'm able to more enjoy the episode. But so I essentially don't really have that many caveats with this episode. Like the ones that I already pointed out in the reaction, like how sometimes I feel like the scenes don't really flow into each other at all, and I feel like I fucking missed something that the characters have said, or a scene, which is very much likely because I do tend to talk a lot doing these reactions in particular. But yeah, that is probably the most annoying thing about this episode. Overall, it was pretty okay. Nothing too crazy, but definitely kind of more enjoyable and more focused, if that makes any sense, compared to the past three episodes, I feel like. Because I feel like this episode had its concept, and it kind of executed it. It was about the Shredder returning, and the Shredder returned. That was it. It did its thing, you know? So yeah, it was actually pretty decently enjoyable. And that's why, in terms of rating, I'm honestly going to give it a 7.3 out of 10. I don't remember exactly how that compares to episode 2 of last season, so if this is higher than that, well, there's nothing I can do about it. I've already rated that episode, but honestly now I would probably rate that episode like a 7.9 out of 10. And keep in mind, when I'm rating these episodes of this show, I'm rating them in relation to this show alone. I'm not rating them in comparison to like the 2003 or the 2012 or the rise of TMNT incarnation. So for this show so far, this is a pretty good episode. Nothing really spectacular happens, but it's actually consistently decent quality. So yeah, there's that. I kind of enjoyed it. But yeah, what did you guys think about this episode? Comment those down below and let's have a discussion about it. And also, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my currently 3 patrons on Patreon: Deadpool, August Dice, and Little Uzi. Thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me that you have decided to support me, and if you continue to support me in such a long time, hope you continue to enjoy my content and continue to support me going forward. Thank you very much. And now, before we end this video, I just want to talk about something to you guys very quickly, which some of you may or may have not noticed before or know about me, that being the fact that I am trans. And yes, this may come as shocking to some of you because I don't really flaunt it that much on my channel, or at least I feel like I don't. Outside of like my K-pop reactions, which is where I feel like the most comfortable being myself like this. And yeah, I am in fact trans. I'm not necessarily full-on male to female, but I heavily want to transition to being pretty female. I do consider myself more non-binary though, or maybe gender fluid would be the best descriptor as well, because I do have occasional moments where I feel fine being like just a normal guy, but most of the time, like right now, I do feel very dysphoric. And that's why I'm asking you guys for any help that you can give me, because my situation right now, I don't really see any way outside of you guys' help. Because, and this is gonna be kept short and concise, I live with my parents. They're never going to accept me as a trans person. They just never will. And as a matter of fact, back when I started the YouTube channel, I was actually kind of slightly starting my transition back then, with like starting to grow out my hair. I even got to DIY HRT, but because my parents started noticing certain things, like my behavior had changed a lot and my clothes had changed a lot, I kind of had to stop doing that because they were constantly nagging me about cutting my hair and just started to kind of be threatening in a certain way, and felt like they were ashamed of me and everything, and that just kind of stress just tired me out to the point where I just gave up. But as dysphoria goes, it just doesn't go away, you know. I still feel like this, and in fact it's somewhat been intensifying again recently, so I just wanted to share this with you guys. And again, I would really appreciate any amount of support you can give me in regards to this, because I just don't see any way out of this. Because even if I moved out of my parents' house and got myself a job and everything, that's just not gonna work for long-term planning, because once I transition, it's like I probably will not be able to get myself a job, because my country is very transphobic. Nobody gives a shit about LGBT people at all. So there's not even much I can do even in terms of transitioning here. So yeah, I don't know. I just would appreciate any amount of support you can give me, be it monetarily or in any way otherwise. And this is not about boosting my channel or anything, or guilt tripping you with my sob story. I just wanted to get this off my chest and make my subscribers aware of the situation that I am in, and that I would appreciate anything that you guys can help me out with. It would mean literally everything. Like, for example, a friend that I made after starting this YouTube channel, my good friend Yuri, has been helping me out a lot. And I genuinely might have not been here if it wasn't for him showing up and befriending me. So yeah, this just went a little bit longer than I intended, but I would just really appreciate anything you can support me with. That's kind of ultimately what I'm trying to say. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, check out the link in the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me over there, and to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you don't enjoy my stories or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon or to my Ko-fi account, where you can pledge support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy. And I think it's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!